Well, good day. It's Corey McKernan here, and we are back after Wildcard weekend. And I'm here with the managing director of Dexian, sitting in front of his beloved Collingwood, Peter Dacos, or the Dacos trilogy jumper there. Stewie, how you going?
I'm going very well, Corey. Thank you, mate. Yes, so in the office today, not in the car. Been out the road the last couple of days, so it's good to be back in the office today.
And look, I'm in the Reset Sanctuary. And for
You
people
are?
that don't know, you know what? There is another company I'm going to give a plug to. It's National Make Good Solutions. Do you know anyone that does make good, Stuart?
I do, especially up in sunny coast.
No, well, National Make Good. I'm here at the Reset Sanctuary. They did all the fit out up here, so big thanks to National Make Good. But enough of that. We'll get into the games. I think we were pretty good last week. I think the only one, just a little bit of a recap. I think the only one we didn't get was the upset with the 49, or what, maybe a
We,
bit of an upset with the Eagles not getting over the
correct.
49ers. So
Also, I think we
let's
picked the Steelers, mate, so we totally got that wrong.
actually, thanks for reminding me. I was going to gloss over that, but anyway, we'll go into the first game, which once again we've got a weekend of NFL matches once again. But we go to the first game on the weekend. We've got the Bills at the Denver Broncos, and this should be really looking forward to this game. Again, the quarterbacks will have a big say in it. I
Yeah.
believe you've been doing some research, Stuart.
Well, it's funny because the number one seeds this year are going in underdogs, which I don't think that's happened for a long time. Um, I guess Denver's against the Bills and Josh Allen factor, so it's always going to be hard turning up favourites against Allen. I mean, his last drive of those last 2 or 3 minutes, it just shows him why he's probably one of the best in the competition. He's just so steely. He's been there before, and I guess the only problem that the Bills have is that they sort of choke in these games over the last 2 or 3 years. So they really need to get the job done against the Broncos. Um, I'm still going to pick the Broncos. I think Bo Nix having that week off, and the O line. I think yeah, I think they don't. It's a bit of a bit like going over to Perth, Colorado. It's a good home sort of ground for them to play in. I think it's like 500 meters above sea level, so um, it's a different state of play than normally this time of year for the Bills where they're playing in snow.
Yeah, look, I think I'm going to go Josh Allen, but I don't pick them
Okay.
with any conviction. I think you sort of hit it on the head that it just seems like whenever the Bills seem like they're going to get rolling and take all before them, they find they I don't know, there's just that little question mark on them. But
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go with Josh Allen in this one. Then on to the next one, which is that NFC West
Yeah.
rivalry, and there's three out of the four teams in the playoffs, which is unbelievable. But Niners at Seahawks, it's a huge division rivalry. The 12th man in operation in Seattle, the noise will be loud. Um, I don't know, as you mentioned about the number one seeds in both the divisions, I again, I'm only going to pick the Seahawks just because of
Yeah.
the injuries that the 49ers have got.
Yeah. I I think the Seahawks has got a great defense. They've got one of the best Ds in the competition. I haven't seen much of them this year. I did watch a lot of the 49ers games late. They are so good when it comes to tight games. They just always seem to get it done. I know they've got a lot of injuries, but they've got really good depth. They've had a couple of good additions. Purdy seems to be playing well. I'm going to go the 49ers. So we're going two against in the first two games here.
Yep. Well, we are. But and look on to the next game. Speaking of defense, weren't the Texans? They were absolutely unbelievable against the Steelers. They go into New England, and isn't it New England, Stu? They're reminding us of the new Hawthorn. They've had
Oh,
they had a couple of off seasons, and then now they're back into championship mode. It's been
they
really tough
are.
if you're a Patriots fan, isn't it?
And well, yeah, you know they're who their supporters are now. You didn't hear them about 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, look, the Texans D is really good, and they don't give much time for those quarterbacks in that pocket. It's pretty scary. Almost reminds me of Baltimore back in the early 2000s. How strong they basically won on their defense. I think they called was it 2 touchdowns for their defense scored on the weekend.
I think they did. If anyone that doesn't mind that vocation in Australia called the punt, I'd probably be going the under in this game because I
Yeah,
imagine the Texans and the Patriots don't traditionally light it up, but I'd
yeah,
imagine the
correct.
under in this game would be be pretty well favoured. But look, I still find it hard to go against the Patriots in New
Yeah,
England this time of year.
I'm the same with you. The bit of May factor, if he's got a little bit more time in the pocket, and his O line can step up to the plate, I think he'll score enough to beat him. I think that's probably the closest game of the round, though. This round, I think it's going to be a ripper.
It will be, and then the final game. Now, I'm always this is a bit like in the AFL when you have the teams from the southern climate have got to come up to the Queensland to the hot weather. It's probably the same in the NFL that when you have
Correct.
teams that are going into cold environments, and I think Soldier Field playing the Chicago Bears when the Rams are coming from the sun of California and all of a sudden they're going into the snow. Look, even though it's Matt Stafford leading that offense, I think the Chicago Bears are actually going to be off to the NFC Championship game.
Wow. Yeah, Caleb Williams was fantastic last week. What they scored 27 or 28 points in that last quarter. I think they were 21-3 down, and it was like game over. But they believe in themselves, and they stuck to the process. And yeah, they played really well. I'd still think the Rams' offense, being the best in the competition, will hold up against the Bears. Again, I think they were saying the weather's going to be -8, feels like -12. It's just crazy how cold that's going to be, and whether they're going to rely more on the run game. Hopefully, Stafford plays a bit like last week and they can get to that championship game. So the
Yeah,
Rams for me, Corey, very different.
I think I'm only just going to side with the Rams because I'm a big Matt Stafford fan. So we're in agreement on those ones. So
Okay.
what have we got? What have we ended up going there? Like it's off to the AFC Championship game, looking like well, I think it's going to be Buffalo versus New England.
Yep.
That might be in one side, and then I think you could have an NFC West showdown of having either night. Well, we're nearly both in agreement. They are going to take on an NFC West opponent. So who knows what
Who
happens
knows?
and go into the championship game. So
It's good to have these close playoffs. It makes it interesting, and again, like we said last week, to have different teams in. It's good to see these players up and coming, and yeah, getting their time to shine.
speaking of time to shine, it's not that far away until the Dexian Super Bowl party at Amphora, Monday, February 9th. Looking forward to everyone being there. We'll be back again next week. Stu, good punting.
Good punting. Can't wait. See you, mate.
See ya.